After a very active start to the day, we are starting to quiet down, but it's really not going to be for very long. We have some winter weather that is right around the corner. Quick check of your camera at the Perryville Airport. Again, it's just a little bit gloomy and still pretty soggy. We picked up quite a bit of rain across the region today, but the bulk of that activity has started to push away from the area. So again, you see some higher returns showing up off in Tennessee, close to Nashville, just out of the viewing area. And then notice this little line showing up. That's the cold front. So that cold front going to continue to push to the south and east. Not expecting any more severe weather as we shift overnight tonight as that moves through. But it is going to get cold. This is another view of some of the temperatures back off in the Sioux City into the single digits. Locally, we're not quite that cold just yet, but it is going to be a bit of a shock to the system as we start to shift overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Some of us have dipped down into the 40s. Sparta at 41, Mount Vernon 44 degrees, Marion at 49, but Sikeston and Paducah still holding on to the low 60s. We're all going to see that cool down eventually tonight and into tomorrow. The threat tracker bar stays relatively low overnight tonight. As we start to get into tomorrow, believe it or not, we're going from severe weather to winter weather. So as we start to get into the afternoon, we are tracking that potential for a wintry mix starting to make its way into the area. And then that activity going to be ramping up Wednesday night and sticking around throughout the day on Thursday. So a lot to talk about. Quick check again of the satellite and radar. We are quieter now. That heavier rain's pushed out of the area. We don't start to see the winter weather pushing until tomorrow. The National Weather Service has already issued a winter storm warning for tomorrow evening through Thursday evening. That's all of the viewing area here that you see showing up in that bright pink color. That does exclude some of our far eastern counties. So a little bit of a mess is to be expected. Expect some impacts to travel over the course of the next couple of days. Here's what we're talking about. If we run this out, we stay pretty quiet tonight. If you have anything that you need to do and you don't want to deal with this activity, you have some time tomorrow. So as we kick off the day, it's going to be cold. We'll start the day in the 20s. But we don't see the activity move in until the afternoon. So this is a look about 3 o'clock tomorrow. We start to see some of that wintry mix pushing into our far western counties, expecting a bit of freezing rain and sleet as this begins, and then it'll continue to spread across the region as we start to get into the evening hours. That's going to be wave one. And then seeing maybe a little bit of a break as we get into Thursday morning, but more widespread activity throughout the day on Thursday, mixing in with quite a bit of rain for some of our southern counties. So again, highly dependent on where you're located. Just a degree or two shift in some of these temperatures will make a big difference in whether we see the freezing rain or rain. But again, as we get into tomorrow, hopefully going to be seeing everybody preparing for this as we get into Thursday. It's just going to be a mess whether we're dealing with the rain or the wintry mix. So if we take the freezing rain projection out through this event, we are expecting light to moderate amounts up to 1/4 of an inch or more as we start to get into Thursday. So this means slick roadways. If it starts to freeze on some of those trees, breaking tree limbs could lead to some power outages, so just something to keep in mind. But we're not only going to have to deal with some of that ice. If we take the rainfall projection out, folks off into western Kentucky and off into northwestern Tennessee, we're expecting another inch or two of rainfall for folks off into our southern counties on top of all of the rain that we've already seen. So flooding is also going to be an issue. So there's a lot to break down when it comes to this event. The moral of the story, just make sure you're staying prepared. Storm Track 3 app will be great to have on your smartphone as we shift through the next day or so. Finally, after we get through Thursday, some quieter weather comes back. So mostly cloudy skies will return on Friday. We're quiet through the weekend, small chance for some flurries on Sunday, but then overall some calmer weather's coming our way. So just be prepared for a big change and that wintry mix coming our way through the next couple of days.